Gonna wait a few seconds because it always cuts off the beginning of my videos. Sometimes up to like 18 seconds. So we're at 13, 14 seconds. I know I haven't made a video for a long time, but be excited. I'm here to talk about my knowledge of the water in our world. So back in 2009, 2010, and even before that, I was always interested in what was in our water. But in 2009, 2010, I worked for a water conservation board for the government. And I was the financial administrator and communicator for that particular watershed. Now, that water board held about 7,000 residents of farms and also towns, or they weren't cities, I guess, but towns. Maybe one was a city. But anyway, 7,000 properties, taxpayers, what have you. I won't tell you which province it is, but most of you that know me will know exactly where it is here in Canada. So this is why I want to talk about water in general, because there's a lot of confusion about just water. So I'm going to teach some water basics. And this is a little bit what not only I've learned, but things that I think every single person should know about on this planet. So that's just me being me. So let's start off with what we learn in grade 4 and 5 here in Canada in the program. Okay, so we're going to start out with a little cloud here, which has raindrops. Okay, so those clouds and these raindrops, I'm just going to use Canada. So this is the West Coast here. And pretend this is a map of Canada. I'm not going to draw it. Like, okay, everybody gets the picture. There's the Great Lakes, da-da-da-da. So, and here's Newfoundland and all that. Anyways, so everybody's got a good little image. Okay, so if it starts out, and here's Vancouver Island. So if this cloud gathers up in the ocean and it goes across the country, this drop of water right here, one drop of water, does anybody know how long that will stay in that cloud until it falls on the ground if it's uninterrupted? 10 days. 10 days. If it doesn't rain, that little water droplet stays in that cloud. So what I learned, and a lot of you that are on my channel will be aware of, is I've been a large proponent most of my life for clean drinking water. So I've been to many water rallies. I've been to, and people are like, what is that? Well, those were freedom rallies before freedom rallies were cool. So if things were going on in Canada in our watershed, I wanted to know about it. So a lot of people already know about companies like Nestle, for example. And we'll get to those in a second. But I want to talk about what I learned in my job here at the Water Conservation District. So say, for example, here's British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario's huge, Quebec, da-da-da-da. So what I learned is that if this cloud is uninterrupted, this drop of rain will make it all the way to Manitoba. But what I learned is it's been stopped by, everybody knows, I can't even say the word. So everybody knows these exist, correct? Because that's one thing I learned. I hope you can all read that writing. This is not the sharpest. There we go. For those of you watching on your phone. So let's talk about what's in these, because I learned very long ago what is in some of these things that are being polluted on our planet. Okay. So this is coming in the form of, here's an airplane. This is my airplane. And what it does is these heavy metals, and they're heavy, they cause the rain to, say, rain in British Columbia, but then it doesn't rain as much in Alberta. So whatever's left in there that's not dispersed gathers more steam. So they can, as we all know, generate hail in Calgary like there's no tomorrow. Okay. So, and Edmonton, but we get a lot of hail in southern Calgary, like golf ball size, you name it. That's all manufactured. Okay. Why is that manufactured? Well, what does that cause to do? Insurance rates go up, number one. And we all know that we pay exorbitant amount of fees and they make a lot of money. And number two, the whole construction, car business, cars are wrecked, livestock, food. It wipes out stuff. Okay, so everybody knows that stuff, right? But then it doesn't rain in Saskatchewan. And then it doesn't rain in Manitoba. Okay? So these farmers will suffer drought, which we've seen drought. So drought is manufactured. But we all cause parts of this system, and we don't really realize how we're doing it sometimes. So we all know about these things being dropped into our water table. Let's go back to grade 4. I like to say it because I had to teach kids this, so I'm just going to relearn it for myself. So yes, it does stop crops from growing. You got that right. So say, for example, it's raining in the city of Calgary. These are rain, and here's the buildings. And say there's a Minute Lube, something where you get your cars fixed or whatever, and there's runoff there, and don't forget about the streets, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so we all know there's a lot of pollution in town. So all of these things, even coming out of our apartment building, our showers, our soap, our cat food, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to use Calgary as an example because I know the layout of Calgary really well. So in Calgary, right down, it's basically like down east to west, we have the river. Okay. And we have all of these nice little things that come out of the river that go to the tunnels, but they go into the river here. We all see them along the park. Everybody knows that they're there. What's at the end of the river, everybody that lives in Calgary? I'm just going to draw a roll of toilet paper here. It's our sewage treatment plant. So what we're peeing and pooing in here, what we're drinking and having going here. So I want to give a shout out to Andrea. So today she phoned one of her local town water office. And she asked in the water office if they were testing for this. Okay, now I'm not going to get into that video. I'm just going to tell you the fact of what we learned today. She learned today and shared it with me. So she asked, are they testing this in your treatment plant here? Is it before it goes to the treatment plant, or is it after the water comes out of the treatment plant? Okay. But you know what? The number one thing in our water that we're all drinking right now. Okay. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Human waste. So